Hi students. So in the last lecture we have discussed about the parathyroid gland, pineal gland, and I was discussing about the thymus gland as well. But due to some technicalities, I was not able to finish the thymus gland. So today we'll discuss the thymus gland first, then we'll discuss the next gland, that is your adrenal gland, right? So the thymus gland, as we have already discussed a little bit, and we have the introduction. I have given the introduction to all of you. See, the thymus gland, it is a pink colored bilobed lymphoid mass. It is a pink color bilobed lymphoid mass located on the heart, that is on the mediastinal part or space. So it will be clear from this diagram if you see. So this is actually located in the mediastinal part of the heart, where is actually heart is located. See, mediastinal means you have already studied in the chapter of respiration when you study the lungs, the structure of lungs, location of the lungs. So you have seen that the lungs, in between the two lungs there is a small area where the heart it get fits, and that is called mediastinal space. That space is called mediastinal space. So there, okay, so there on the heart, this thymus gland is also located there itself, right? And this thymus gland, it is having a very interesting, characteristic feature we need to discuss. First, the thymus gland is actually endodermal in origin, right? The thymus gland is endodermal in origin. That means the germ layer, that is the endoderm, from where the thymus gland is actually originated, right? Normally, the thymus gland, or it's commonly weight between if we see, if we want to know the weight of the thymus gland, it varies from 10 grams to 15 grams, okay, and it continues to grow up to the age of puberty, okay. That means the thymus gland is well developed in case of a newborn baby or a newborn child. तो thymus gland सबसे अच्छे से वेल डेवलप कब होता है? ड्यूरिंग द टाइम, सॉरी, ड्यूरिंग in case of a newborn child, right? And this will grow, it will continue to grow till the age of puberty. Puberty तक ये पढ़ता है. उसके बाद क्या होता है? Then weight ranges between 30 to 40 gram. Okay, so during the age of puberty, during the puberty period, it will grow. Until the puberty period, it will grow, and it will attain a weight of 30 to 40 grams. So you can see the difference. In the beginning, it is having a weight of 10 to 15 grams. Now, after the complete maturation in the puberty period, it can attain a weight of 30 to 40 grams, right? And thereafter, generally, progressively, it diminishes in size, undergoing gradual atrophy. क्या कह रहा है कि after the puberty, after it attains its maximum size, it is going to shrink, it is going to reduce in size progressively, slowly. As our age increases, okay, so slowly the gland size decreases, and that phenomenon is called atrophy. Okay, that phenomenon is called atrophy, right? Atrophy, here it is. Now, next thing, actually what is happening due to the atrophy, it is actually replaced by fat. The structure of the gland is having, previously it was having the lymphoid tissue, but most of the part of this gland is slowly replaced by fat, so that after the mid-adult life, it may weigh only about 10 grams. तो क्या कह रहा है? After your mid-adult life, that means after you attain the adult life, that means get mature, and at the middle age, it will weigh only about 10 grams, right? And the disappearance of the thymus cause aging. This is very interesting, is very important. थाइमस ग्लैंड धीरे धीरे डिसअपियर हो जाता है, मतलब खत्म हो जाता है या छोटा हो जाता है, श्रिंक हो जाता है, and that is actually the reason for aging in our case, right? I hope you understand. Next, if you see histologically, मतलब if you take a section and if you try to see the structure inside, then you can see it have histologically the tissue can be divided into two zones. Number one, the outer zone, that is called the cortex, and the inner zone, that is called the medulla. Now the cortex consists of densely packed lymphoid tissues, and medulla consists of reticular epithelium cells. A few lymphocytes and corpuscles of Hessels or thymic corpuscles can also be seen. Right. So let us see the diagram. So this is the diagram. If we take a section, cross section of the thymus gland. So these are the things what we can see here. So basically you can see these are the immature lymphocytes. These are the immature lymphocytes, and we are having the mature lymphocytes, right? And can you see the half moon shaped structure cells? These are called Hessels corpuscles. These Hessels corpuscles are present in the thymus gland, right? So let's move on. See, the thymus gland is related to the immune system of our body, that we need to understand. What is the basic function of the thymus gland? To provide or help in the immune system, right? अब ये Hessels corpuscles क्या है? These are sphericals or oval bodies present in the thymus, and they are phagocytic in function. We'll discuss later on in detail, right? Now, if you see the functions, hormone and function of the thymus gland, what are the hormones secreted by the thymus, and what are the function of those hormones? See, thymocytes or the Hessels cells or corpuscles are phagocytes. Just now I said, right? Help in defense. Okay, phagocytic means whenever there are some foreign cells or particles coming inside our body, these phagocytes will go and they will engulf those cells and they will digest those cells or kill those cells, and they will protect us in this way, right? So this Hessels corpuscles or this thymocyte, these cells are also known as the thymocytes. Thymocytes and the Hessels corpuscles, they are actually working as a phagocytes which help in defense. Now these cells produce hormones known as thymotic hormone, and the most important hormone is thymosin. So thymotic cells, so the cells which are present in the thymus gland are known as thymocytes, and there is one more type of cells that also present, that is your Hessel cells. Those are phagocytes in nature, and these thymotic cells are also producing certain one type of hormone. There are different types of hormone. The most important hormone is the thymosin that we need to discuss. Okay, so thymosin is the most important hormone which is secreted by the thymus gland, right? So what are the function of the thymosin? See, thymosin is responsible for the maturation of T lymphocyte. Now these T lymphocytes are very, very important in our immune system. Okay, so these T lymphocytes are get mature, for the maturation of the T lymphocyte, this thymosin hormone is very, very important. Okay. So what it is doing? It helps in the specialization or maturation of T lymphocyte. Okay. It also helps in the stimulation of T lymphocyte. एक तो मैचुरेशन में हेल्प करता है, मतलब इमैच्योर जो जैसे आप देखिए डायग्राम तो फिर क्लियर होगा. See, these cells are immature cells, right? These are immature lymphocytes. These are the mostly T lymphocytes. And because of the thymosin hormone present inside the gland, it will help this immature lymphocyte to get mature lymphocytes, right? See, if a lymphocyte is, that is the T lymphocyte is mature, that doesn't mean that it is activated or gets stimulated. It will mature and it will be present inside the thymus gland or in some other part of the body, and it will get activated by again the thymosin hormone. So thymosin hormone activate, it also help in the activation of the T lymphocyte and also help in the maturation of the T lymphocyte, right? Now the thymosin promotes the cell division, and that is why it is help in growth in early stage. So what it is saying? It is saying that thymosin also helps or promotes the cell division. As we know that during the time of early development in our case, our body is growing, and for that there should be mitosis. That means a cell division should be there, right? And for the cell division also, this thymosin hormone is also help, right? Now it depresses the neuromuscular transmission, right? It depresses the neuromuscular transmission. Which gland? This thyroid. This thymus gland. They are also having a role in the to depress the neuromuscular transmission, right? So if there is any unnecessary secretion of this gland, this hormone, so it can also affect our neurotransmitter in the junction of neuromuscular junction. Okay, so in the neuromuscular junction, it can also affect the transmission of the neurons, right? So that is also important function that we need to understand. So it can disturb the neuromuscular transmission if in the case not secreted in optimal quantity. Next, fine. So that was about the thymus gland. Now we will discuss about the next important gland, that is your adrenal gland, right? So we'll discuss adrenal gland. First of all, the adrenal gland, it is present where? It is present on the kidney. So you can see this this figure. So these adrenal glands are present here. Okay. So they are in one pair. Each kidney, it is having one adrenal gland. Both the kidneys were having two adrenal glands, right? So the adrenal gland is a paired structure and located on the top of the kidneys, and each adrenal gland has two pairs. External adrenal cortex. Each adrenal glands are always present in pair, and the gland, if you take a TA section, then we can see that they are having two parts. External part of the gland, that is your adrenal cortex, and the internal part, that is your adrenal medulla. Now the cortex is surrounded by a fibrous capsule, and both the adrenal cortex and medulla have different embryonic origin. This is very, very interesting, right? So let us discuss. As I have already just now I said, see this glands, they are paired structures. They are present on the kidneys. You can see here, and each gland, if you take a gland and if you just have a cross section, then we can see. So it is having two parts. The outermost part, this is the outermost part, and that is called the adrenal cortex, and the inner part, this is called adrenal medulla, and it is covered with a capsule. Okay, that is a fibrous capsule. It's covered with a fibrous structure that is called capsule, right? So, and these two parts, the adrenal cortex and adrenal medulla, they are different in origin. They are not same. Okay, so they are different in origin. So whatever I have discussed, everything is written on the screen right now, and you can see on the screen. So you can just copy. So the next, we'll talk about each part in detail. That is your adrenal cortex and adrenal medulla. Now the adrenal cortex, it is the outer part of the gland, which have about 80% of the total gland. क्या मतलब हुआ? पूरे gland का 80% area or 80% part is actually your adrenal cortex. As I said, this adrenal cortex and adrenal medulla both have different origins. So adrenal cortex is having mesoderm. These are the adrenal gland. It is mesodermal in origin. Okay. Which part? The cortex. So you please write down adrenal cortex. Actually, adrenal gland means this is, I'm talking about adrenal. Adrenal cortex is mesodermal in origin, right? Adrenal cortex is mesodermal in origin. And adrenal cortex, again, it is divided into three different zones. Namely, the first one is your zona granulosa, second one is zona fasciculata, third one is zona reticularis. So these are the three different zone what we can see in this renal cortex area, right? So renal cortex area can be divided further into three different zones. There is a zona glomerulosa, zona granulosa, then zona fasciculata and zona reticularis. Okay. Now the cortex area, the renal adrenal cortex part, it secretes the hormone which is steroid in nature. So the hormones secreted by the adrenal cortex are actually steroid in nature, right? Next, the adrenocorticoids, that is the hormones which are produced by adrenal cortex. So the adrenal cortex, they are producing this adrenal cortex producing certain hormones. They are first important thing is what? These are steroid hormone, or they are steroid in nature. Second important things, they are also called adrenocorticoids, okay, which are produced by this adrenal cortex. So there are basically three different adrenocorticoids or three different types of hormones secreted by this adrenal cortex area. These are mineralocorticoids, 6 corticoids, and glucocorticoids, right? And adrenal cortex is actually under the control of, it is actually work, or it is this cortex is under the control of ACTH, that is adrenocorticotropic hormone. We have discussed in the beginning when we were discussing about hypothalamus. So the ACTH is actually controlling this adrenal cortex part of adrenal gland, right? Now we'll talk about the adrenal medulla. So adrenal medulla, as we have seen in the diagram, the adrenal medulla is the middle part or the second part of the adrenal gland. So it makes the central part of the gland, right? So it makes the central part of the gland. So adrenal medulla is ectodermal in origin. See, the adrenal cortex was mesodermal in origin, if you remember. So this is ectodermal. The medulla part is ectodermal in origin. It is not mesodermal, right? The types of hormones secreted by this adrenal medulla are amine hormones. See the difference. Last one. Or in case of the cortex, the hormones secreted by the cortex are mostly, or they are actually your steroid hormones, but in this case they are amine hormones, right? Next, it produces the hormones like adrenaline and noradrenaline. So these are the examples or the hormones which are produced by the medulla part. So examples are adrenaline and noradrenaline. Or we can say in other way, epinephrine, norepinephrine, right? Now, before we move on, again we need to just have a small revision or recapture. Let us revise the thing or remind the thing. See, the outermost of the adrenal gland is covered by fibrous capsule, which is protective in nature. I have already discussed, right? Now, the next layer of the adrenal cortex, which is having 3 zones, right? So, those 3 zones are just after the protective layer, that is the capsule, that is the fibrous capsule. We are having 3 zones that is present in the adrenal cortex region. Those are number 1 is your zona glomerulosa, and which is in the next layer of the cells are arranged in the form of cords. They are arranged in the form of cords, and these cords are again scattered in the connective tissue. Okay, and this and then we are having the middle zone. And that middle zone is called zona fasciculata. and the innermost zone is known as a zona reticularis. All these three zones together making the adrenal cortex. And the medulla part is just the central part, and it has compactly arranged cells. It makes the central part of the gland. So at the center, it is making this medulla part, and it is having cells which are compactly arranged, right? And that is called adrenal medulla, right? Now we'll see if you take a section that is the LS section, and then we can see this diagram right now in front of us.